All right, what's going on, guys? I'm Mike, and this is the Prepared Citizen. And for today's topic, we're gonna go over the 5 guns that I think every American should own, and in particular, every American should own for SHTF. So, not really in any order of importance, but if you kind of think about it, I think number 1 should be a full-size handgun. And particularly, it's specifically a full-size handgun. Because if you get something too small, like a little 380, like a Glock 42, or if you get like a small 9mm, like a Glock 43X, or a P365, they're not going to be able to, you're not going to have as much purchase on the handgun or on your pistol as you are with a full size. It's going to, these are all tools at the end of the day, and each tool is going to prevail or do something better than something else. That's why you choose the right tool for the right job, you know? But you do want to have something that's going to flex into more roles. I feel like a full-size handgun fits multiple applications, because if you think about it, you can use it for duty, you can use it as a bedside, like nightstand gun, everyday carry. It's going to have more rounds. You're going to be able to grip it better. It's going to be more accurate. It's better to fight with, you know. But at the end of the day, it's a full-size handgun, you know. And when I say full size, I don't necessarily mean like just a Glock 17. You can get a compact, but something with like a 4-inch barrel and up, I feel like is necessary for everybody to own. Like a Glock 19 or a Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0 compact, you know, something that's gonna have more rounds. And again, choosing the right firearm that you're gonna be able to shoot best and conceal best, or just in general, works best for you. It doesn't have to be hammer fire, it doesn't have to be striker fire. You just have to find the right system that's gonna work best for you and what you're trying to go for when it comes to that. My full-size handgun, the handgun that I'd go to war with, oh, that's a good one. A go-to-war pistol, that's perfect way to describe it. For me, is a Staccato P. Tried and true, I think there's over 1,400 police agencies that carry the Staccato. The Texas Rangers, I'm pretty sure this weapon is, there's one in the mag, but there's nothing in the chamber. Put it on safe, put it back in. But I daily carry this every day. I have this every day. This is wherever I go, this goes with me. With the right belt, the right clothing, you're gonna be able to conceal carry pretty much anything. But at the end of the day, it comes down to what works best for you. I normally carry this in a T-Rex arm sidecar holster, and I use a core belt. If you're gonna carry a full-size gun, or any gun in particular, but for sure a full-size, you're gonna wanna have a good belt. So I carry a nice gun belt, a core one, it's nice and rigid, fits on my body, a looser shirt, definitely the one I'm wearing now, so you don't have any printing. And then I have an extra magazine on the side. But I think that the number 1 spot should definitely go to a full-size handgun. It's gonna do cool, good, full-size handgun stuff. You know, that's the role it fills, you know, as a go-to-war gun. All right, so that's number 1. Number 2, something small and concealable. Because if you have your big gun that's going to be more bulky and you're going to be able to fight with, you're going to want something that you can conceal very easy. I've had this gun for a long time. This is a SIG P938. I can almost put this in my pocket. I don't recommend you carrying a gun just in your pocket with no holster. I just seen a video the other day. A dude was in a podcast and he like shot his leg or something during the podcast because he didn't have a holster. It was stupid, you know? But having something that's very small that you can conceal and it's inconspicuous, you know, is huge, you know, because then you can have it anywhere you go. You can have basketball shorts, whatever the case may be, you know? But I don't think you should only have this type of gun just because you can bring it anywhere. Like, I don't necessarily feel comfortable having this as my nightstand gun, you know, or a go-to-war gun. This is a SIG 938. This gun only holds, 7? And again, it's cleared. But it only holds 6 bullets, you know, 6 rounds. So this is more so I would consider a gun that you can, it's like another way to fight, you know, because you only have 7 rounds. You're definitely going to need more ammunition if you were to get into a prolonged gunfight. It's small, it's going to be snappier, and that's why I said these are tools. You choose the right tool for the best job. You know, my Staccato P, it's going to be bigger, it's easier for me to control, put more rounds down range accurately and safer, and it's going to have less muzzle rise. These are both 9mm, but you can see the drastic difference in size. This one's going to be good for just going to the gas station, whatever the case may be. But having a full-size handgun and then having a small, detrimental. I just can't understand that the most. These are tools, and you have to treat them as such, you know? Me personally, I like hammer-fired guns, but I also like striker-fired as well. I've had plenty of Glocks in the past. Where I've gotten, I guess in my shooting journey, I really enjoy the 1911 for one, 2011 right here with the staccato, you know, but just hammer-fire guns, the trigger's better. I just like them, but to whatever works best for you. Just because I like it doesn't mean you will. But the point is, having something that's similar to hammer-fire guns, where you have two striker fires, having a Glock 43 and then a Glock 19, or a Glock 19 and a Glock 17, or something like that, or a P365 and a Glock 17, whatever works for you. Having a full size and a small gun. The full size is the one you can go to war with. You can, shit hits the fan, you know, zombie apocalypse. That's the gun, you know, that you could walk around like you're Rick Grimes. Coral. That's the gun, you know. This is the gun that you can always have on you or just throw in your pocket. It's real easy if you just have to go somewhere. The way I look at the small gun is there's no excuse not to carry a gun, you know, because you should always carry a gun for one. But when you have something this small, like even like, oh, I'm just going to the gas station real quick, still take it. There's no reason not to have it. It's huge. You never know when it can happen. I'm a strong believer of always carrying a firearm every day, no matter what. That's the whole point, because you never know when anything can happen, you know? So yeah, that's number two, having something small. Again, you could do a P365, Glock 43, I don't know, like one of those Canics. I think they have the Elite SCs, another nice one, a Glock 26. Find whatever works best for you. I bought this a long time ago. I probably had this for, God, like 9 years. It's been a while. So I'm probably due to upgrade. That's, you know, especially with technology. Now I can get a P365 or, you know, like an XL or whatever the case may be. That's going to hold more rounds and still be slim. But I definitely believe having a full-size gun is still going to have its place, you know? So that's why I chose those two. Yes, absolutely. Number three, it's going to be some form of PCC, like a pistol caliber carbine or a PDW, all right? Something in particular that you can put inside of a bag, right? We all went through COVID. You remember the riots? Remember the United States went on a little side quest. You know, COVID was going on. We went on a little side journey with all these riots and all this crazy stuff, you know? Being able to have something that you can have discreetly hidden on either in a bag or with the sling under a coat that no one knows about. And then you can, you know, take it out from underneath your coat and, you know, boom, deploy your brace or your stock, depending on what you own, and have more shots that are going to be able to hit the target more accurately. You have more rounds available, more points of contact. I think it's huge. And it shares the same 9mm. All of these are pistols, you know. Being able to have something that shares the same round as your sidearm is going to be huge. And it could be more of like a second line of defense / like an insurance policy, you know, because, and the reality is you're going to have your pistol on. So that's going to be the gun that you're going to use if something were to happen. That's the gun, the first line of defense. You know, people always say you only have a handgun to fight your way to a rifle. Well, why would you, in reality, the pistol is the main weapon, because why would you have your pistol fight somebody, get in a gunfight, leave the scenario to get to a rifle and then go back to it not knowing what's happening there or whatever the case may be? That makes no sense, especially as a civilian. We're not police officers. We're not in the military. At least me, not in particular. I'm a father and I'm just an average civilian, a prepared civilian, you know, the prepared citizen. So at the end of the day, I feel like having something like this underneath the coat that I can take out, use, put it back underneath the coat. I'm not walking around and making myself a target if there's an active shooter or whatever the case may be, or just in general, like you don't want to be seen out with a rifle. You know, I just don't think that's a good look. I think it draws too much attention. I really do believe you need to have something that's going to be covert and not overt, you know? Like, of course, it'd be awesome to have, you know, your chest rig, you have armor on, you know, and you have your rifle, you have nods, you have all that good stuff. But the reality is it would have to be so bad in like a apocalypse scenario for that to happen. And even then, you make yourself a target. You want to be as inconspicuous and fly under the radar. At least I do. That's my whole goal. I go to the gym a lot. So how I disguise my gray man is I wear a lot of Under Armour, or I don't know if I can say Under Armour. I don't know if you can say brands or not, but I wear a lot of athletic clothes and just a normal guy. You know, I wear a leisure carry belt, so it's able to carry my pistols on me. A little bit of a baggy t-shirt. Nobody knows. Everything I wear is gym attire, you know? So when you see me, oh, that guy's just on the way to the gym, or he's wearing some dad clothes, you know? Crocs, or I have my Hokas on, or whatever the case may be. I'm just trying to blend in and not draw any attention. I want to be able to go to a Target or Whole Foods and no one thinks anything. That's the goal. That's the whole point, is to fly underneath the radar. You don't have to have this system. I'm currently waiting for my Form 1 to return on my B&T TP9, and then I'll be able to add a pistol grip up front, or a foregrip, I should say, and a stock. And then I'm going to get my suppressor. Then you can have something discreet like this that's going to be able to fit inside of a bag. So again, you can have either, you know, a SIG Flux Raider, or a B&T TP9, an MP5K, whatever the case may be. Find the right system that's going to work for you. There's Scorpions. I hate the Scorpion. I just don't like the Scorpion. I don't know why. It just seems like a toy to me. It just looks ugly to me personally, you know. But B&T makes some badass PDWs. Definitely check them out. Something that you can put inside of a bag like this one right here, you know, and particularly a bag that doesn't scream gun. I know this one's black, but it's just a laptop bag. It's from Hazard 4, super durable, really good zippers. I carry tourniquets in here. This is my EDC bag. Wherever I go, this goes with me, right? You know, there's a different lines of defense. This is my second line of defense, because whatever I have on me, you know, my pistol, you know, extra magazine, that's on my body. But off body, I carry something in my bag, which is a PDW. Shares the same ammunition as my pistol, and I can have that with me wherever I go. Because realistically, if there was a shooting, I'm not going to be like, oh, let me grab my bag gun and then pull that out. It's not going to be enough time. It's just like not a realistic scenario. You're going to use your handgun, right? And you're going to get out of there. But if you were in like the highway or something, the highway's blocked off, or your car is broken down, or you have to travel on foot, whatever the case may be, you have an extra piece of insurance on you that's going to be small. You have a sling in the bag, you throw it on there, you put your coat on, and you go, you know, and then you have your handgun. If you need to, you can go to your PDW. But remember, it's a 9mm, especially this 320. It's essentially a pistol in a chassis. It is a pistol in a chassis system. This one doesn't have, I forget the barrel length. I think it's a 5-inch barrel on this one, and maybe 4.5 because it's compensated on the SIG. But the point being is you're not going to get the velocity, the terminal ballistics that you would have on a longer barrel, especially not if it was a rifle. So everything has a tool, everything is a tool, and everything has its place. And this place is going to live inside of a bag and come out in an emergency. You know, maybe, you know, what's the inauguration? I know I suck at saying that word. When Trump goes in office, you know, maybe there's some lunatics out there. We've seen what happened in Vegas. We've seen what happened in New Orleans, right? There's some crazy people. Evil can strike at any time, right? But there might be certain days in particular where you might think, you know what? It might be sketchy out. Maybe as an extra insurance policy, I'll tuck this into the bag. I recommend you watching Brass Facts. He's another guy on YouTube. He explains the PDW concept very well. So you can definitely check out his page. He had my mind going and thinking, and that's where I kind of came up with that concept, you know, but you don't necessarily have to do this. I'm just letting you know this is how I roll and what I do. But again, your full size, your small concealable handgun, and then having something that you can put inside of a bag, you know? So those are the three for sure. Honestly, those are the top 3 guns, or not even, they're up there though, but yeah. Those are very high on the list. Number 4 would be an AR15 or an AR pattern rifle. Something in 5.56, because we're America, where there's so much 5.56 available, but particularly an AR15 or something chambered after that. This is my SIG MCX Virtus. Again, you don't have to get this particular firearm. I'm just saying that this is what I have and what works for me. And again, because of the NFA and the ATF or whatever, this is considered a pistol. All of these are considered pistols. At least this one until this one gets to the Form 1 back. it's crazy, but having something that's actually a rifle round that you can go to war with and you can depend your life on. This could be at home. It's a fantastic home defense weapon. Low recoil. I can trust giving my wife this pistol or this rifle, and I know that it's not going to be like a 12 gauge. It's going to blow her shoulder, dislocate it. Whatever the case may be. It's a force multiplier. The PDW is as well. You have more points of contact, but again, it comes down to the ballistics. This is going to put bad people down, or any person that comes down to you. If there's multiple people that break in the house, I would feel way more comfortable knowing that I have some form of AR-15, and I do have an AR too. So I do have, this is my Daniel Defense. Note that there is no sights on this. I had a scope on it. It was primary arms 1-8. I want to get something nicer, so I have sold it to fund a new one. So soon you'll be seeing a new optic on here. I haven't shot this in a long time. The more and more I get into firearms, side note, because my TISM and my ADHD is kicking in, is that I realized, I watched the T-Rex Arms video the other day that blew my mind, and they were saying the only reason that there's a 16-inch barreled AR is because of the ATF. Like, they weren't issued in the Army, except for the Mark 12 Mod H, So it's not like this is a common barrel. And it was just like, like if we were allowed to have what we were supposed to have, everybody would have 10.5s or 14.5. Who cares about the pin and weld? We'd have 11.5s, whatever the case may be. But either way, having an AR-15 especially an AR-15, because you'll be able to, if you think about it, you can throw a 22 bolt in there, because just going to say it right now, a 22 is not on my list, but you can have multiple calibers with your AR-15. You can change the upper receiver. You can get a 50 Beowulf, I'm not saying you should. I've had one. I don't really care for it. It's expensive, whatever the case may be. I don't like it, but you can put a 22 on there, a 300 Blackout. It's multiple firearms with just one lower receiver, Parts are everywhere. Ammunition, magazines, it's huge. I like the SIG MCX Virtus. Well, for one, I got this before the Spirit came out. Two, it's reliable, right? It's modular as well. And it's small. I like to not have a buffer system. I think that's huge. But either way, I still love the AR-15. It's America's rifle, and I think it definitely has its place. Having a go-to-war rifle, having something for home defense that's chambered like this in the 5.56 223 is huge. You can go AK-47, because again, I'm going to say it too, you don't necessarily have to get this. An AK kind of fits in that role. But I feel like in the US, we all know there's so many ARs out there. The chance of you finding someone else with an AR, same magazines, or an extra bolt, whatever the case may be, is high, So that's why I say number 4 is going to be an AR-15 pattern rifle or pistol, But this is my 11.5. This is my gun. There are many like it, but this one is mine. Haha. But yeah, definitely feel like those for sure. Remember, this is a theory 4 because this is just another one to just show you as an example. But those are the 4 that I think every American should own. And then last but not least, you guys are probably already going to know what it is. It's going to be a 12 gauge shotgun. I think I got this. I'm older than I look, but I think I got this as like a birthday gift. God, I probably just for like, I don't even know. It's one of my oldest guns, probably like 10, 12 years ago. It's been forever. From my parents. But having a pump action shotgun, something reliable, it's going to be huge. You don't have to necessarily, another one, have a pump action shotgun. You can get a semi-auto, but most semi-autos are pretty finicky. There are a few, though, that are reliable. Like, for example, this year, my goal is to upgrade. This is my home defense gun. One of them, I should say, but this is the one that's always by the bedside with my pistols and other stuff. Because you know how it is. You remember, autism, ADHD kicking out. If someone were to break in the house, not necessarily that I'm going to grab the shotgun. It's like, which gun am I going to grab? It's like, So you have choices here. But back on subject. The shotgun is going to have different loads that you can use. You can hunt with this, with the slug, take out deer. You can use buckshot for home defense, or you can even hunt birds or go clay pigeon shooting with some birdshot, So there's multiple options you can have. The pump is like a revolver. It's just reliable, It's manual. You cock it. You're the one feeding the gun. But with that is a learning curve. You have to make sure that you're not short stroking the pump. You have to make sure that you're not going to that you're going to be able to feed this and run this system correctly, because it's not a semi-auto. It doesn't just keep going when you pull the trigger. You have to manually cycle each load. But with that comes a level of reliability if you're able to do that. A semi-auto, though, back on that, because my ADHD is finally over with, is a Beretta A300. I was thinking about getting that one for the house. It seems reliable. Of course, I want the 1301. That's pretty badass. Same aspect, though. Do I really want to spend $2,000 on a shotgun? With everything going on in Ukraine, having a shotgun showed me that you'll be able to take down threats as far as drones. Someone that might be in the US, I would say more so someone that's like maybe watching you, like a spy or someone like, what's he doing over there? If, and this is again, if shit hits the fan, HHTF, whatever the case may be, you can take down drones. That's what's happening in Ukraine. People thought that shotguns didn't have a place, and then now they're back. Whatever is old is new again. You know, trench warfare, it's back, you know? Shotguns are devastating. I forget the statistics, but it's somewhere along the lines of every person shot with a 12 gauge is what, 90% like fatality, you know, like it's insane, you know. These still have their place. And if you think about it, a lot of my firearms are I like nicer stuff. I'm not saying I have the most Gucciest of firearms, but I like nice things, you know. And most of my handguns and most of my collection is more expensive. And having something that's only a couple $100s, because you can get a pump relatively cheap. You can get a Mossberg 88 or a Mossberg 500 or Remington 870 from that maybe $200 to $600 range. You know, instead of spending $3,000 or $1,600, $2,500, whatever the case may be, this has a lot cheaper entryway. And with that, if you were to use it, it's easier to kind of let go. But with that said, I'm a strong believer of you only have one life. Who cares what it costs? People say I'm crazy for carrying a $3,000 pistol or my staccato, you know, $2,600, whatever you want to call it. People say it's crazy to spend that much on something you're going to create that you're going to carry every day. And if you have to use it, it might go in an evidence locker, or they might lose it in the evidence locker. You might not get it back for a year or two because you have to go to court and all that stuff. You know, I don't care. I want to be able to protect my family with the best tools that I deem necessary in that moment. I'm not going to worry about that. I want to be able to have the best thing at that time. If I can save up for it one time, I can do it a second time. My life, my family's life, and the people that I value and are around me is more valuable than any firearm, period. So being able to spend the money on these things, don't cheap out. Don't just get a Taurus. Don't get some cheap ass gun, you know, because this is your life. What do you value your life at, you know? So that is something to think about. But with that said, this just so happens to be a reliable firearm. And this is something that I can just keep on the side, ready to go. But with that, I would like to upgrade to a Beretta A300. It's $1,000, semi-auto. It's supposed to run anything. You definitely have to vet all of your guns to make sure they work, but that's a huge one. Another one would be, of course, the Benelli M4. I think there's a new version out as well, but that one was like the GOAT for the longest, you know, and it's still up there as one of the GOATs. But I think the 1301 definitely, it might piss off some people in the comments, but I think the 1301 dethroned the Benelli M4. When I was growing up, like Left 4 Dead, Benelli M4s were sick. I always wanted one. And now that I'm older, I'm like, dude, the 1301 is badass. But again, do I want to spend $2,000 on a shotgun? You know, it's like, you know, like they're cool. I see their place. But rifles are badass. Pistols are pretty badass. So like, yeah, but all of these guns right here, I feel like can cover your bases, you know? Because with your AR-15, you could throw a 22 bolt and you can hunt small game with it. With your shotgun, birdshot, you can hunt small game with it. And you can also take down a deer, pretty much anything in North America with the 12 gauge. There's no rhinos out here or nothing, so a 12 gauge is gonna work. Having something that you can hide discreetly in your bag that's not gonna scream you have a gun, or that you can hide underneath your coat and no one's gonna know about, is huge. Having something on you that you can fight with that's full size is huge. Being able to have that, and then having a compact, small, discreet, there's no excuse not to carry a gun. Like even when you don't feel like carrying a gun, like, I'm just going over there. Then you have this, because then it's like not carrying anything. It's so light, it's small, you know, there's no reason for you not to have it. So these are the top 5 guns I think every American should own, you know? If I had to do an honorable mention, I would probably say either a bolt gun or a gas gun. Like, you know, if you had, maybe not the SCAR. I've had a SCAR in the past, you know, the reciprocating charging handle model, and I got rid of it because I want to end up getting eventually, you know, some form of DMR. Is having a DMR, having something that's going to be able to hit harder, shoot farther. It's going to penetrate barriers better, and it's just going to be more of a laser beam, you know, because you don't necessarily need a sniper rifle. You know, you can't say it's self-defense if someone's 600 yards away. But being able to see something clearer with a nice scope and a powerful round is huge. You know, I'm not in the military. I don't have a giant group of guys that are going to have guns, you know, so being able to have something that's powerful in a 308 or a 6.5 Creedmoor is massive. I don't have rockets. I don't have grenades. I don't have any of that stuff, you know, like I'm just a regular civilian, you know, so what can I buy at a gun store? I can buy a gas gun, you know, or a nice bolt gun. Maybe in 300 Win Mag, something powerful. It's going to be a laser beam, you know, and it's going to be super accurate. I believe in precision rifles, not necessarily a sniper rifle, you know. Does that make sense? You decide, you know. But I feel like that would be a good honorable mention. Once you cover these bases, I feel like then you can kind of expand into other things, whether if you want a revolver, you know, because you might be able to switch a revolver if you get a small, I think they have like an Airweight Smith & Wesson or something that can fit that role or whatever the case may be. But I believe in semi-auto, full size, something small and discreet that you can carry, you know, like an 11.5 or a 16-inch barrel, you know, AR-15 or AR-15 pattern rifle, you know, something in your bag, and a shotgun, whether that be semi-auto. You know, you can mix and match the brands, whatever's going to work best for you, whatever works best for your budget. But these are the guns I think necessary. Let me know what you guys think. I love watching top 5 videos. You know, it's awesome, but being realistic and showing people point of use of why I have these. You know, you're spending harder money. I had to work for all this stuff, you know? So you want to make sure you get the right thing and you're buying stuff with a purpose, you know? So that's why I feel like these 5 guns fit those roles in the toolbox well. You choose the right tool for the right moment at the right time. And then once you cover that, go buy a Desert Eagle, you know, do whatever you want to do. I'm not, you know, whatever after that, you know, but if you're a serious person about protecting your family or having them, get this, you know, if anything, get 2 of each. So you have doubles. 2 is 1, 1 is none, you know? But yeah, if you like the video, like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below about what you have in your top 5 rotation or what you think a top 5 would be. I would love to hear what you guys got going on. If you have any recommendations or any tips and stuff, let me know. I know I need optics for these. Don't get me wrong. You know, you're gonna say that like he doesn't even have an optic or a flashlight. I already know. The reality is stuff is not cheap. I like expensive things, so I take my time to save up for these things. You know, so that's the reality. But make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe. I love being able to share what I know, and I love learning. You know, especially in this. This is just like autism. Oh, you know, it's all. You know, I love this. It's just, this is incredible to me. And I think that we should all be able to be more positive in the gun community, teaching people not look down on somebody that's just trying to get in. They don't know. So there was one point we all didn't know, or at least, you know, I didn't know about firearms. I had to learn and ask people, and that's how we can grow. So being able to have this type of information and share it with people, I think is huge. So that's it for today. I'm Mike, the Prepared Citizen. God bless you all. Have a good one.